you do if some foreign entity came to your land with unheard of technologies? Would you think that they are gods? What we're going to talk about today is Hernan Cortez and the overtaking of Tenochtitlan, which is present-day Mexico City. A lot of people died for the conquest of Tenochtitlan, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how that happened. So the four main points I'm going to talk about is Tenochtitlan before it was conquested, Hernan Cortez's origin story, how Aztecs got conquered, and what the city was like after the conquest. So here's a little layout of Tenochtitlan. In 2013, Cartwright book, he said this was the greatest city in all of Mesoamerica. They had 200,000 residents, and at its peak, it was 12 to 14 square kilometers wide. And it was actually on an island in the middle of a lake. And as you can see, the main part, the square part, that's called Templo Mayor, and that's where they had all their sacred worships and sacrifices and stuff like that. According to Kilroy Embark in 2015, the layout of the city is based on the stars. So they looked at the stars and laid the city out based on that. So now that we talked a little bit about the city, let's talk about Hernan Cortez, who conquered the city. Zele in 2017 article, Hernan Cortez, Conqueror of Aztecs, said that he wasn't always successful. This is him after he's been successful, but 7 years prior to this, he was a notary and a farmer. Later, he joined the conquistador Velazquez and became a conquistador himself. They took over Cuba, and he became a mayor of Santiago. After that, he wanted more than that. He was very ambitious, so he wanted to become something more than that. And he wanted to take over Mexico City. He wanted to take over Tenochtitlan. So he went off to do that. So let's talk a little about how he did that. Now, they did have more technology. They had advanced technology, but it didn't come as easy as you would think. So some of the military techniques and technology they've never seen before. The Aztecs were pretty tribal, basically. They had horses, but they didn't have the type of horses that the Spanish had. Also, smallpox wiped out most of their population before the conquest, and they also got a lot of allies from them. And this is all from Lyon's 2016 Master of the Conquest. It talks about the hardships as well. They had the worst military disaster in the New World, and this was called the Night of Sadness. And this is a picture of that, actually. That's them trying to escape the city because they didn't have any food or water, and they were getting attacked as well from the indigenous people. And how Cortez conquered the Aztecs, he was really good at getting out of bad situations. So even this happened, he had the worst military thing ever in the New World. He still got out of it and came on top. Cortez persuaded the indigenous people to join him, and he also bought military supplies from a Spanish merchant. And this is the actual conquest itself. You can see all of them coming in from each side of the city, and they're all attacking the Aztecs. So, and you can see that they have like armor, and they have lots of different things on them. They just had advanced technology. So what Tenochtitlan was like after the conquest, it was called Mexico City, and that's where the center of Mexico City is today. Indigenous people were kept in poverty after the conquest, and the Spanish people were rich from it. They were under Spanish rule for 300 years, and this is according to Bell, 2008, a book she wrote about Mexican history from ancient times to now. She also states that the culture change was pretty significant. Missionaries from the Catholic Church would help the indigenous people because they weren't treated properly, and in turn, the indigenous people would convert to Catholicism. And you can see that today too. And they also established the first government in Mexico. And this is after that was this is after the conquest as well. So in conclusion, Cortez was vital to the overtaking of Mexico City. And again, the first point being Tenochtitlan was what was like before, who Hernan Cortez was, how the Aztecs were conquered, and how the city changed under Spanish rule. So Mexico, you can still see the effects of Mexico City from what happened 500 years ago. What are we doing today that is going to affect our future? Thank you.
Mark.